Welcome to the Innerscape podcast.
Hi, Judith,
Hi, Tina.
and hello to all of our listeners. We prepared an interesting topic for today. Judith, would you like to introduce it to us?
Gladly. In today's episode, we're going to talk about changes. The only constant in life is change. Everything changes all the time, right? The days, the seasons, the environment, everything moves in a flow. Even our neurons and brain cells change daily. Resisting it is against the natural circle of life. So, why do we still have difficulties with changes? What do you think, Tina?
Well, interesting question. I think change can be scary because it moves out. It moves us out of like comfort zone. I
Mm,
I experienced it recently that I was really stuck because I was doing every day the same things, having the same job, living in the same apartment. And yeah, this just got me into this huge comfort zone. And I was scared to do something different. So I think on one side it's connected to the comfort zone. What do you think?
I agree. Especially, I was thinking of older generations because
Mm,
if you just think of our parents, they lived their entire life in the same house, many of them with the same person, doing the same job for 30, 40 years. So I think there was a time back when it was more normal, but our generation is so much more adaptable to change. I agree with you because it's definitely triggering the comfort zone.
yeah,
But we must remember that the magic usually happens outside of our comfort zones.
yeah. Yeah, it's interesting because I'm at the moment in a huge change in my life. I'm just moving literally today. I took a little lunch break with Judith just to record this episode during my moving date. So I'm moving from one apartment to another, and I'm actually recording in my friend's studio. That's why I have a little bit of different sound. But yeah, change is something that I love, and I was always so much for it because so it always brings something new, something more interesting, and growth and improvement. And that's what I feel as well in my life, that how you said that our generation is so used to change. It's instant. I had this apartment in a week, and then we moved out in a week. I don't know, it's refreshing for me. What do you think? How is change present in your life at the moment?
Well, I do love change. I'm very used to having many, many changes in my life. You know that I've moved places
Yeah.
numerous times. I couldn't even count how many flats I have lived in. I wouldn't dare to include all the jobs I had in my CV because that would be a book.
I feel
and
you.
and I was thinking if I might have commitment issues, but
Mm,
I think I realized that what is true for me is that I have an insatiable hunger for life. And as you said, I put in my notes the same thing, that for personal growth, because I'm yearning to experience everything in life that's possible for me. And as you said, it's easier for us. Um, we we in the European Union, we're free to move borders, and even the job market is so fluctuating. It's very easy to get hired, get fired, to
yeah.
change. Um, like, just think about technology. They don't make gadgets to last long anymore. I remember we had a microwave, and I took a picture because that was my family's first microwave that they drove to Austria to buy it because it wasn't available in Hungary back then, and they had it for 25 years. And when it finally broke, my dad hugged it, and I took a picture with him, and we
Oh
framed
my
it because it was
God.
part of the family. Can you name anything that lasts that long anymore? You buy a
It's so
phone, you
true.
have 1 or 2 years with it.
Yeah.
Your
For
clothes,
yeah, exactly.
everything. Everything is fast fashion, and even people have become disposable.
Yeah.
You make contact, and people disappear from your life so instantly and so easily.
Yeah.
I don't
With
know. I
with
don't know
Tinder, with
if
all these rapid dating apps as well.
yeah, but not
Even
just dating,
messaging.
friends.
Yeah.
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 We don't value that much anymore what we have because we know that we find a new one, a
Yeah.
shinier one, a greener one, or
Yeah.
at least we hope.
Yeah.
But I like change, and I never want to stop myself from something because of fear.
Mm. You mentioned this microwave, and I had exactly the same in my family with the coffee machine that was like 20 years old. And at the same time, thanks to our parents, their generation, we still have this value for these long lasting things because we are in this generation where we still experience their um, attitude towards these things, and ours like a faster generation. And but whoever comes after us, I think they don't have this sense of kind of this value what you mentioned, also because of the technological age, because all the text messages, all the life on social media instead of being present, I think it's also influencing this part that everything is instant. Like before, you wrote a letter and you had to wait like 1 month to get to the other side of the country, and now it's like instant video call, and now we have this podcast. So I think it's also the value of the human connections that are underrated in a way.
I'm not sure I fully agree with you because reaching back to the beginning of this episode, what I said is that change is constant, and it's a circle. Even in history repeats itself, and nothing remains the same. Like what maybe we predict now that this is how the future will look like, but it might turn back to the very beginning, and people start valuing analog things, handwriting and human connections. People turn away from social media. There is a point when we coil of technology. Maybe, I don't know, maybe. What I'm saying is that so it's not necessarily linear,
Yeah, no, I
but
that's
that's
not
it.
really, that's not what I say. I mean, I see a change in this direction as well. I just see how it affected for the moment the human connections, and there's always a change back or always a change forward in a way that okay, now we have this technology, now how can we use it better without losing this human connection? I mean, you know that my dream is to kind of have this retreat center and like connect back to nature and bring back all these ancient knowledges that we had before. And I come from also this technological age, and
Yeah.
you know, I think there's more and more people doing exactly that to bring back this Darwinist mindset. No,
Yeah.
I also wanted to reflect on what you said about yourself, that you might be having like commitment issues because you constantly change, and that's really interesting that you mentioned, because I kind of grew up like this, that people were telling me that I was too fast. I was changing all the time. I was like a tornado, especially in my family, because we are really different. They are doing things slower, and I do everything quick. And this is always present in my life, like changing my jobs constantly, the countries where I live, even boyfriends. It was too much for them, and they were judging that. But I'm not someone who's gonna stay in a relationship or at a job or in a place where I don't feel fulfilled. So, as you say, if it's not true for you, why would you be stuck just because someone else thinks that you should slow down? And I think there's a lot of judgment about change or how you handle change in your life.
Oh, wow, I love that. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely love that. You're right. That was my theory as well, that if I'm not happy at a place or in a life scenario, then I move. I think I'm very attached to people in my life, especially to my friends. And if I ever let someone close to my heart, I'd like to keep those people close.
Yeah.
I'm much more flexible about everything else. And there's so many things that brings to my mind about what you said. But the first I wanted to mention here is that we mustn't forget that change has a price. You said that we change sometimes hastily. Sometimes change can mean that we observe, we sit back and we kind of allow ourselves to watch the movie, what's happening, and observe every single resonance around us and then move accordingly. Or it can be as a useful, reckless, hasty change.
Yeah.
And I tell you an example that hopefully explains this better. When I decided nearly 9 years ago to move to London for a couple of months, it was a completely irresponsible decision. I just wanted to run away after a breakup. And I didn't know how it will affect me. And I wasn't prepared for what came after, because I fell in love with London and I settled down and I couldn't go back anymore. And it's not because other people changed, not because Budapest changed, it's because I changed and I'm not suitable for that lifestyle and that environment anymore. And I did sacrifice relationships. I didn't see my nephews growing up. I wasn't there in people's life. And lots of things um, that caused this decision.
Yes, but I think change comes with also letting go of something that is not working anymore, is not there anymore, or is not serving you anymore. And it doesn't mean that, yes, you can have a look at it in a way that, okay, you sacrificed your relationship or the frequency that you can meet with your family, which obviously I can totally relate to. But at the same time, like, as I can talk from my experience, my relationship with my family got better after I moved to a different country, because it helped me to be a better person, because I can be truly myself instead of being
Yeah.
stuck in a country where I don't belong. So I can give back more to them. So in a way, it's not a sacrifice if you can be who you are with them, because you live your life as you want. That's just my way of looking at it.
Yeah. You mentioned letting go,
Yeah.
and maybe a new thing doesn't necessarily have to override the past. Sometimes it's not quitting or forgetting what was, but enriching your life is something new, and adding something to your life, not replacing the old thing. And there's a quote I like to bring in here from a beautiful film, Still Alice, with Julianne Moore. I don't know if you've seen it, Tina.
Yes, yeah, I've seen that.
Um, who listen to us, if you haven't seen it, please give it a chance. It's a beautiful movie. And at the very end of the film, there is an emotional monologue. And it ends with something like, in this world, there is a kind of painful progress, a longing for what we have left behind, and dreaming ahead.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it really touches me because this is what I feel when I think of what I left behind, longing for
Yeah.
something and dreaming ahead as well
Mm-hmm.
at the same time.
Change can happen in so many different ways in our lives. It can happen in relationships or in our circumstances, in our jobs, or even like behavior and our mindset. And I just wanted to connect this back because we are kind of this mindfulness focused podcast, and
Hmm.
I'm just curious, how is it affecting your life when you try to change something within you? Because I think there's so many things that we want to improve in ourselves, especially people like us who are really actively working on how to be better and better and better. Because I think it's always connected to achieving your goals in a better way, to be a better person, to be more yourself, to become who you really picture that, yeah, this is the person that I want to become, who I want to be. There was also, I also wanted to mention a quote because I think around change there's so many amazing quotes, and there is Maya Angelou. I don't know if you know her. She's an American poet, and she said she's well known of her book. I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings. Maybe
Oh,
you
yeah,
know
I
this
heard
one.
about it. Yeah.
So she said something that if you cannot change it, change your attitude.
Hmm.
And just this sentence for me is so big because so many times when I changed my attitude about something, everything changed. And it was affecting my mindset, my behavior, and it was just so powerful. So I don't know what you think about this.
Yes, I think it's very similar to that sentence. I don't know, it's a very well-known phrase that if you want the world to change, it has to start with you.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to make the change, and then the world around you will change. And this is what I feel. And as you said, I'm a person as well who constantly works on myself, and I want to become a better person than I was yesterday, and learning from my mistakes and analyzing myself and making changes. And I feel the
Mm.
effects of these changes. I can
Yeah.
feel it, especially I think the past year has been transformational for me. And I'm very happy where I am right now. But what I experienced is it takes longer to my environment to adjust to that change, because many
Mm.
times I have, for example, a conflict with someone because that person is already triggered about a previous argument we had, or how I might have had reacted in the past.
Yeah.
And even now I've changed, and now I'm communicating differently or from different energy. It takes time for the other person to break down those old associations. So yes, if you want change, it always has to come from you. If you want
Yeah.
change your relationships with your family, your workplace, if you want more acknowledgement or respect, or even if you want to feel, I don't know, more looked after by your friends or anyone, first you have to look after them. You have to show that you care and that you love them, and it can only be received after that.
Yeah. I love this because I think we all do this, that when we change, we expect others to know that we already changed. So you should already approach me in a way that I'm changed. But this other person hasn't adapted to that new person who you became. And I think we do this in both directions. I had this experience with my mother as well, that, or with my family, that I went abroad, and then I came back as a new person with all these new knowledges, and then I wanted to show this, and I wanted to have a different relationship with them, but they were not ready because they were still reacting from the same place where we left off,
Yeah,
how they knew me, and I wanted to help them to also become more relaxed and more understanding, but it was not working because I was expecting them to going back to expectations, always connecting.
it all
so
circles back.
all circles, like, yeah. So this change couldn't happen if there was a stuck energy as expectation, and you have to also, as you say, yeah, change first within, but also accept that maybe some other people not gonna see it just yet. So give them time to adapt to your change, because
Yeah,
some people are also slower, and I think we shouldn't judge people who change quickly, and we shouldn't
yeah,
judge people who change slowly, because that's their time. And I was doing the same. I was being judged because I'm too quick, and I'm doing everything at the same time, and I'm having 3 jobs, and I'm having like I don't know, whatever. But like I was judging my parents back, that they were doing things slowly. Change has to happen in the right moment to become like
yeah,
a good and easy transition. Otherwise you
yeah,
can fuck things up if you do things too
yeah.
quickly.
And you also have to be patient with yourself. Just imagine you're standing in front of a cocoon and just anxiously tapping the table. Come on,
Mm.
become a butterfly, become a butterfly. But it's going to become a butterfly when it's ready.
Yeah, yeah,
And
exactly.
that's the same with you. But even if even if it takes time for your environment to adapt to your change, when you change within,
Yeah,
it's instantly rewarding for yourself. You will feel um, the difference. You will feel maybe just more in peace with yourself, or happier, making better choices, just feeling better about yourself. I want to go back to the external changes, because we talked about that it's difficult to change, but why is it really difficult? It's the fear of unknown, isn't it? Which refers to anxiety around unpredictable situations or events. And we can work on ourselves. We can find some tools how to overcome this fear of the unknown. And one of them is, if we research and educate ourselves. It works in certain situations when we become more informed. For example, let's say it's your first backpacker trip to Southeast Asia. You've never been there. And it's a fear of unknown, isn't it? It's a big change. And you can fight it with learning everything you need to know about your trip. But let's be honest that the outcome of the most changes in our life is unpredictable. And I found that reframing, which is a cognitive behavior technique, can be an amazing tool for that, because what happens in your brain? Let's say you drop out of uni, or you get dumped by your partner, anything. The first thing, you get overwhelmed with these negative thoughts and you start spiraling of all the negative possible outcomes, right?
Yeah.
But what I figured is that instead of this, reframe your brain, your mind, and just say, what if it all works out?
Mm.
And it comes with practice. I'm not saying, of course, it's change. Often it's bloody scary, but you can practice to become more adaptable and handle it better and better. You can start small with small changes, and then once you have success, it will become easier and easier to face bigger changes in your life. And it really works if you just say to yourself, what if things go well? Instead of going back to the morning routine episode, instead of feeding the bad wolf, you have to feed the good wolf, because these are all thoughts. You have no idea what's going to happen in the future. And thoughts like little clouds, they come and go, and it takes the exact same effort to focus on the optimistic view as the pessimistic one.
Yeah, I think being in control and scared to be out of our comfort zone is so strong around this topic, because if change is already an idea in our head, I think it wants to be born. Otherwise, you would never think about it to change something. Then you're just happy with what you have. But if you have this kind of frustration inside you that I think this is not enough, I think I can do more, I can do better, then there is an improvement, a growth that wants to be born, and you have to bring change to activate it. And yeah, you can put yourself in this situation, even just book a flight to, I don't know, it doesn't have to be Asia, but like it can be a friendlier European, I don't know, beach town or something. I went to Mallorca
Which,
once, like just alone to, to get out of my comfort zone and to push myself to travel totally alone. And I think you can just do even little things to change in your life to activate the bigger change later on.
yeah, I just want to say I heard that actually Southeast Asia is super friendly and people are very nice and often much nicer than people in Europe. So it's not
I
necessarily a
love
good
Asia.
thing.
I'm sorry that I said that. This is
I
completely
know
not
you love it.
my opinion. I love Asia, like all
I
parts.
know.
Even the
I
dodgy
know.
parts, like that's where you find the true
Yeah.
local mentality and the really good hearted people. So yeah, don't take this seriously, but I just you can find way worse people in the, I don't know, uh,
Next street.
civilized, yeah, like a civilized Budapest or whatever.
Uh, Tina, I was wondering, why is it so hard to make a change, and why do we hesitate? And I don't know what you think about this, but isn't it because we so desperately try to make the right decision?
Mm,
And I
I
read
think it's
recently,
that.
I heard a TED talk from a Harvard professor recently, and she was talking about the exact same thing, that don't try to make the right decision, but make your decision right.
Yeah.
Which means that you you will never live a parallel life. You won't know what the other scenario would have brought for you. So if you hesitate which university to go to, or I don't know which profession to choose, decide on one thing, because and make it right, because you will never know how the other thing would make you feel? Would it make you happy, or would it be a failure? You don't know.
Yeah.
So instead of just being paralyzed in front of decisions, we have to have the courage and trust ourselves. And also, we live in 2024. If something doesn't work out, change again. It is possible now.
Yeah. So true. It really resonates with me because I'm a huge overthinker. And I think that's why I'm doing things rapidly, because if I don't do it right now, I'm gonna overthink and I'm gonna scare myself away and stop myself from doing it. And I know and I feel it. I'm really connected to my intuition, and I know when I have to change, but if I overthink it, then it's not gonna happen.
Mm,
So maybe it's kind of a solution. It's not always working out, but as you say, if you make the change, it can move you. I think it can move you forward to another change, because
mm,
sometimes when I
yeah.
made a change, it was not the right decision, quote unquote right decision, but from that change that I made, I got a little bit more brave than
Mm,
before. And that brought me to the next change, and then the next. And then it was bringing me close or right into my right decision. Yeah, I think it's very true what you say, that little by little, I think you can reach your goal, and it doesn't have to be straight the right decision. And what is right
yeah, I
decision
think
anyway?
yes, that's a whole other topic. But I think you and me are very similar in this sense that we dread the idea to be stuck in life situations that don't work for us. I never want to be stuck and look back 20 years later in a bad marriage, a bad job, a house I don't like,
Yeah,
anything, or a health issue that I didn't take the time or the money to resolve
yeah.
anything.
I don't know how you are, but I completely feel fulfilled. I mean, even if I think about it that I die tomorrow, I would feel like, yeah, I didn't reach the career that maybe some people are dreaming of, but that's
Yeah.
their truth. My truth is something else. My truth is to see the world, to be connected to as many people as possible on a deep level. And like, even talking about, I'm being judged in the past about having, like, changing boyfriends all the time or having different boyfriends, and I'm like, I was
I don't
looking, I
comment
was
on that.
searching, and, like, like, for me, yeah, maybe for them it was rapid or like quick, but I didn't feel that they are the right person for me. And then we enjoyed, we partied lovingly, and now I'm in the most amazing relationship that is
Mm.
that is true for me, and he's perfect for me. He's not perfect, but he's perfect for me. So,
I mean, ask
like,
Gary.
yeah, our friend is in love with my fiance. He's a guy, anyway. But you know what I mean? It's
I get what you're saying because sometimes making a change feels like starting it all over again and again and again, and
yeah,
anything, rebuilding a career, starting a new job in a complete different field, or starting a new relationship and starting the conversation back from,
yeah.
hi, what's your favorite type of pizza or music or whatever, or
That's
how
your
likely
first
are you to
question.
yell at me? No. um,
So everyone
I don't
who
know.
is listening, Judith's favorite question on the first date is, what's your favorite pizza? Take notes,
I mean, that's
guys.
crucial. um, but if you're willing to try again, at least you get to the end of your life and you can say, at least I fucking tried.
Yeah. If you don't try, you never know.
You never know. Never know. And this is going to be the episode of quotes, but I cannot close it down without the best and most important quote about change, which proves that this is not a modern trend. It's not something Tina and I came up with. I wanted to mention Darwin, who, as part of his theory of evolution, said, "It is not the most intellectual of the species that survives. It is not the strongest that survives, but the one that is able best to adapt and adjust to the changing environment in which it finds itself." So,
Preach.
guys, be flexible, be open-minded, question everything. What is it? Is it good for me? Does it make me happy?
And just follow yourself. If you do things quickly, then do it quickly. If you do things slowly, just do it your own way. And look deep inside you, that are you stopping yourself because you're scared, or you really don't want to change? And that's okay as well. But just know the difference, that are you acting from fear that you're gonna get out of your comfort zone and it scares you, or you're afraid that you're gonna lose control over your life? Just know that, just be brave and trust the process of life.
Yeah, and trust yourself as well, that you will always be able to cope with anything that you face, because
Yes.
you are able.
Yes, we believe in you guys. And I think it's a beautiful ending for this episode. So
I think so.
I would like to thank to Judith for this amazing conversation, and to all of our listeners, and also, because I always forget that we have viewers now on YouTube, we forget to kind of present
Shit, my
ourselves.
hair.
That
Oh my
yeah,
God.
we are on YouTube, guys, so you can see us
At least
and
I
check us
stopped
out.
speaking. Yeah,
Sometimes I'm still like scratching my face, but that's fine.
I know. I really have to stop because I'm hyperactive and I can't sit still. So usually our video recording goes
Yeah,
like this
sometimes.
for 45
Hi,
minutes.
you did. Hi, bye, you did. Hi, you did. Bye, you did.
But I'm managing it.
Yeah, you're getting way better. Trust me.
Thank you. I gotta go dancing now to release all this energy.
So thank you again, Judith, and thank you to all of our viewers and listeners and everyone who's with us. And see you next week. No, sorry. See you in 2 weeks.
Yes, everything that Tina said. Thank you, everyone, to be with us. I really hope that you found this episode valuable to your life and you have something to take away from it. So please join us again in 2 weeks' time. And thank you so much, Tina. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
If you like this episode, please leave a review, share your thoughts in a comment, and spread the word of our podcast so it can reach many who might need to hear it.
Don't forget to follow us on Spotify and leave us a 5-star rate if you're happy with our podcast, and/or subscribe to our YouTube channel for more content and discussions.